In today's video, I'm going to be saying my top 10 favourite MCU heroes of all time, or at least currently now from phase 1 to phase 4. And standard quick two things. First of all, this is just my useless opinion. I'm going to try and give reasoning why certain people are on the list in certain places. But the most important thing, please tell me, who's your favourite heroes, man? Ain't got to be top 10. Could be top 5, top 3, or just your favourite MCU hero of all time. And of course, that means coming very, very soon will be my top 10 villains, which, spoiler alert, is actually going to be top 15. Because you know about the villain life. And I do want to give one big special honourable mention to Shang-Chi. If you did see my ranking of all the MCU movies from worst to best, if you haven't seen it, it'll be pinned in the comment section right at the top. But you guys know I really, really like Shang-Chi, not just the movie, but as a character. I think he has so much potential moving forward in the MCU. And he just didn't quite make the list. Maybe, though, in the future with some Avengers movies or Shang-Chi 2, or maybe he's going to turn up in different MCU projects. He could slowly work his way up, man, but big love Shang-Chi. But now, coming in number 10 is Rocket Raccoon. It just shouldn't work, man. A talking raccoon on the screen, but somehow it does. Bradley Cooper's voice acting is so good. He's so amazing with like tech weapons and stuff, and he's really intelligent. But the thing that really gets me is that he's a character with a really bad past, man. He's been put in this like raccoon body, and he just masks all his pain with sarcasm.
This vermin speaks of affairs he knows nothing about. That is true. He has no respect. That is also true.
Coming in number 9 is Black Widow. There are a few characters on this list, and it's the actual arcs that made me like them so much, and Black Widow has one of the best. From Iron Man 2 all the way to Endgame, because obviously like her movies like, you know, slid, you know what I mean, before she, yeah. Her character arc is really good, man. She's like this lone assassin kind of thing. Don't really give an F about everyone else. And then Endgame, she's like, you know, giving really emotional speeches about how she's got this family, and then she sacrifices herself for them. It's really good to see. And then Yelena as well, just like adds to her story, man. I miss Black Widow. I'm not even capping. She's so good.
I'm sorry.
Coming in number 8, Black Panther. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. What you've done for this character, man, is legendary. When I first saw my guy turn up in Civil War, and he is not playing games, bruv. You just know he's so sick with basically an indestructible suit with the same like powers as Captain America. And then Black Panther as a movie, for me, is 9 out of 10. I absolutely love it. Again, if you want to see my ranking, it's down below. And in Infinity War, he has some of the most standout scenes. One of my favourite in the whole of the MCU, to be honest, is when him and Captain America are just running together side by side. You can't beat it. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Black Panther is so sick. Coming in number 7, Thor. I've been vocal on the channel many times. I don't really care about Thor from like the comics and stuff. He was fine. I've never said he's one of my favourite Marvel heroes. The Thor movie's good. Thor 2 is good. Avengers. I'm still kind of like, yeah, he's fine. He's got some standout scenes. But I'm going to be honest, Ragnarok was the bit I was like, damn, Thor can be really funny and really badass. And you give him emotional layers. Especially going into Infinity War. He has probably one of the best characters in that movie. And in Endgame, you see him just fully in the bin, dealing with so much, basically, depression, bruv. And yeah, he's amazing. He did fall off a little bit, I've got to be honest. Love and Thunder started pushing him more to like Thor 1 and Thor 2 and Avengers territory. Hopefully, they just redirect him back to being a badass, mate. Coming number 6 is Bucky Barnes. Yes, the Winter Soldier can be a villain, but overall, Bucky Barnes right now, he's a bloody hero, mate. But it's not just because he's like, you know, Captain America's best friend, they got the past from the first Avenger. That's not the reason I like him so much. The actual reason is my guy is dealing with some trauma, boy. He's got so much stuff in his brain that makes him become the Winter Soldier, and he's a problem, boy. Especially in Civil War. Obviously, in the Winter Soldier movie, he's great. But the big one was Civil War. He's an absolute unit when he's fighting, like, especially Black Panther. It's amazing. And you see it go on and on and on, and I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You saw a lot more trauma stuff. He's very, very sad about his past. He's trying to make things right. I really like Bucky Barnes. I love the Winter Soldier. He's just very unique on this list and very unique in all of the MCU.
Every time we fight one of the three.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
How do you know about Gandalf?
I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out.
Number 5 is going to Wanda. Again, yes, kind of a villain. But then she redeems herself. Spoiler at the end of Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, she's definitely a villain, but she's spent the majority of the MCU a solid hero, and obviously I love her as a villain. I mean, I loved Multiverse of Madness, but I do like seeing her as a hero, and she's got all these like A-grade Avengers trying to help her because she is so goddamn OP. And she deals with so much trauma, especially in the show WandaVision. It is absolutely so destroying. Even in What If, she's the Scarlet Witch zombie and she's so good, and she literally nearly slapped Thanos in Endgame. If his like war IQ wasn't so good and he knew like to send the missiles down from the ship, she could have killed him. Coming in number 4 is Iron Man. You want to talk about character arcs. If you look at Tony Stark from Iron Man, the biggest dickhead of all time, mate. He just cares about dollars. And then you look at him in Endgame and he knows there's one way. In here, bruv, he needs to sacrifice himself to save half of the universe. It's so crazy. Even at the first movie when Pepper Potts gets like the arc reactor and then you see it floating away in Endgame, it is soul destroyingly good, but it's that like levels that make Iron Man so sick for me. And I'll be honest, like, I wasn't that into him in like the comics and stuff. I did like him, but he was never like my preferred hero. I was a huge fan, if you saw my gaming list, of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and he was probably one of my favourite heroes there. That's where I liked him the most, if I'm being honest. But I can't deny, Iron Man, mate, he was so sick in the MCU, and he's sorely missed, man. Coming in number 3, Captain America. Again, another character that growing up, I was kind of like fine with. I loved him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but damn, in the MCU, he smashed it. From the first Avenger to Endgame, he's trying to solo, mate. He's got the world against him, and my guy's standing there, boy, and he's like, nah, mate, you ain't going past. I'm gonna do what's right. That heroism, for me, it is just something so special, man. He got a really good ending in Endgame as well, with going back in past, being with Peggy finally, and then obviously giving the shield to Falcon. I also think the trilogy that Captain America has is probably one of the best trilogies in like movie history. A lot of people sleep on it, man. I think the first Avengers is very good, and Winter Soldier and Civil War, they're both god tier, 10 out of 10. Coming in second place is Spider-Man. Growing up, I was obsessed with Spider-Man, and I'm gonna be honest, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, for me, I've said it on live streams, he's my favourite Spider-Man, like live-action Spider-Man of all time. I love Tobey and I love Andrew, and to be honest, they're technically canon now, they're in the MCU, they're in No Way Home, but still Tom Holland is so sick. But as a character, Spider-Man, he is just, he's everything, and I can relate to a lot of stuff growing up, where you're just trying to do your best, and whatever happens, people around you either get hurt, or you never do the right thing. Even though you're trying your best, something always goes bad. That, for me, makes Spider-Man, especially the Tom Holland's version. You see him in Homecoming. He's chilling. He's with Ned. He gets MJ in Far From Home. Yes, he's dealing with stuff, but he's got like a silver spoon, mate. He's got all these powers, Iron Man tech. He's loving it. And then you come to No Way Home, where he really needs to step up, and he gets basically bitch slapped in the face, has the worst possible ending. No one remembers him. No gadgets, no tech. He has to make his own suit, and that is how you start Spider-Man. I cannot wait to see the future.
Activate instant kill!
And now we're at the number 1 pick. If you're following me on the channel already, or especially Instagram, you already know this. Number 1 is Doctor Strange. Not just my favourite hero in the MCU, but my favourite Marvel hero of all time. Constantly fighting mystic villains, which no other like hero can go against, or at least like a large majority of them. I loved that growing up, and I still love it in MCU. Mate, I remember when they cast Benedict Cumberbatch, and at that time, Sherlock and of Game of Thrones, which had the fucking worst ending ever. They were my 2 favourite shows of all time. I was obsessed with Sherlock. I've seen it so many times. Highly recommend it. The BBC show Sherlock is amazing. I was literally in heaven. This is like the best casting for your boy. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is one of the best actors on the planet right now. And every single time he's on screen, I can like literally think in my soul, that is Doctor Strange. That's when you know it's done it right. It's the same thing when I see like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Obviously, he's not in the MCU right now. He would definitely be on this list. Same as like Blade. But they're not in MCU. Maybe in a few years we can redo this list. But for now, Doctor Strange is number 1. No one will be number 1, by the way. Even looking at the future, ain't no one gonna be number 1. But Doctor Strange, he is so goddamn good, and what they've done with him, for me as a massive fan, I think it's perfection. Kevin Feige smashed it. Benedict Cumberbatch, you are Stephen Strange.
Open your eyes.
This isn't real. This is...
that is your boys' list, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that means it's time to do the villains, the most important thing, or the villains and Doctor Strange, because, you know, they're just, yeah, they're everything for me. But let me know your list down below. That would be very, very sick. Thank you so much for watching. See you in a bit. Peace.